Well, welcome everybody to Power Retail's first webinar. So my name's Grant Arnott. I'm the editor and publisher of Power Retail, and we're pleased to be partnering with Quickclips on what's going to be a very exciting, informative, and very useful presentation today. So I must say I'm used to looking out from the stage on an audience. This is my first hosting of a webinar. So I won't go through the usual housekeeping, turn off your mobile phones, etc. You can actually do what you like with your mobiles because we won't be able to hear you. We're very pleased, as I said, to have this presentation today because I've had a sneak preview and there's some brilliant case studies and some great advice from Quickclips who've been in this business for a long time. And so we are pleased to partner with them. They're online video production specialists who look after all elements of planning and production. Quickclips started in 2006 and they're one of the pioneers of this medium in Australia. Their objective and promise is that they'll deliver high quality, low cost videos fast, and that's what we like about them. And I certainly think everyone would appreciate the fact that you don't have to spend a fortune on video to make it effective, and that's what you're going to learn today. The guys have an established track record in delivering high quality content across a range of industries. Their clients include Google, YouTube, the events agency, Ogilvy, Mercer, APN Outdoor. So they've got a lot of experience in this sector with some high-profile clients. I'm first going to introduce you to Nick. Nick's an ex-seafarer, and we can save the questions for Nick and the others at the end. He's worked in senior management roles in international education and industrial relations over many years, and he's part owner and managing director of Quickclips. He'll be accompanied by Natalie. So Natalie's got a background in visual arts, multimedia and management. She's part owner and the creative director at Quickclips. So I'm going to hand it over to Nick and Natalie now to take it away. We will save questions for the end. You'll be able to use the chat bar, or and if you type into that, we'll be able to ask some questions at the very end of the session. So strap yourselves in. You're going to learn a lot, and I'll hand over to Nick and Natalie now.
Thanks, Grant, and good afternoon, everyone. What we're going to do in the next half hour is to give you a clear and concise understanding of how video can build your brand and improve sales. We've got 4 case studies that we're going to take you through. Aura Brush, Diamond Jewellery, Vaughan Williams and Macy's. They each represent different approaches to the use of video, but what they share in common is how you can use video to build your brand and improve sales. We will be showing some of the relevant videos as we go through, but given the webinar technology, they may not stream as effectively as we would like. We will, however, provide links for those of you who'd like the presentation sent by email afterwards. I know Power Retail plan to make that available. Finally, we aim to give you some tips for smooth and cost-effective video production. These are pretty simple guidelines that, if followed, will ensure you end up with some great video content for your campaigns, and you won't blow your budget. Our starting point is a recognition that video has rapidly become one of the most powerful, engaging, and flexible mediums available to marketers. It is also one of the most cost-effective. Now, these are themes that we're going to be developing throughout the presentation. We're not talking here about the old model of video production where location catering is required. We're talking about high-tech, low-cost techniques that allow businesses to showcase their wares in a wide variety of ways. The flexibility of video is what makes it such a unique and powerful medium. How you use video, of course, is entirely up to you. It depends upon what you're looking to achieve and the budget you have available. You can achieve very effective results for very little cost, and as at least one of our case studies will illustrate that very clearly indeed. It's the capacity of video to engage its audience that makes it such an effective medium. Across a wide range of measures, viewers who enjoyed video demonstrated a higher brand association, higher purchasing intent, higher brand favorability. Video can provide you with a powerful marketing edge, building your brand, and as the first of our case studies illustrates, it can be done with a small budget and a lot of flair. And I'm going to hand over to Natalie to talk us through the Aura Brush case study.
Hi everyone, this is Natalie here. Okay, so as Nick mentioned, our first case study is Aura Brush, and I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard of these guys. This is an excellent example of a small company with a modest budget having huge success with online video. These guys actually featured last year on the official Google blog with the article called The Aura Brush Story, How a Utah Man Used YouTube to Build a Multi-million-dollar Business. Just a little bit of background, Aura Brush had tried all the traditional methods, business strategies to sell their product, investing $40,000 into a TV infomercial, approaching retail shops to carry the Aura Brush in stores, and even offering to sell the patent to other oral hygiene companies. None of this worked. The infomercial only got about 100 orders, and people were just walking past the product in the stores. The inventor, Dr. Bob, who you can see up there, with the help from a local uni student called Jeffrey Harmon and a $500 budget, they produced and posted their first video introducing the Aura Brush and offering the product for purchase online. It's a quirky, funny, commercial-style video which offered Aura Brush as a solution to bad breath, and it quickly exploded and now has over 70 million views. From there, they went on to create regular webisodes in a similar style, and then began to take advantage of the YouTube video ads, which is the paid promotion within YouTube, to reach more people and to grow their fan base. And they've actually built such a loyal following now. Their YouTube channel has nearly 50 million views. After 2 years, Aura Brush had sold more than 1 million tongue cleaners to people in more than 40 countries. And the Aura Brush brand became so popular that local pharmacy store managers began to contact them directly because they'd had requests from customers who had heard about the brand online. And so now Aura Brush is available in more than 3,500 Walmart stores and more than 7,000 CVS pharmacy stores across the US. So we might have a look at show you a portion of that video now. So we'll just swap screens and show you.
Halitophobia, the irrational fear of bad breath. I'm a halitophobe. I'm not so much afraid of me having bad breath. I'm afraid of other people having bad breath. As in, hey buddy, your breath smells like crap. You should develop a use of halitophobia. Now I know what you're asking. How do I have that breath? You use this. Use a spoon. Now I know what you're thinking. A spoon, play spoon, spoon your breath. Take the spoon. You take the spoon and you stick it in the back of your tongue and gently scrape it. Let it dry. Take a whiff. If it stinks, your breath stinks. If your breath stinks, this is the only kind of spooning you're going to be getting. The smart viewer out there will know to check your bad breath or tongue. 90% of bad breath goes to bacteria and residue on the tongue. On your tongue. And none of it sounds so stupid for telling you to brush your tongue. Now, does she? Tongues are like sponges, soaking up all that bacteria. Toothbrushes are meant to clean the smooth surfaces. Not your tongue. And the tongue scraper, you remember the tongues, right? The tongue scraper just goes over the top of your tongue. This ain't gonna work. And mouthwash, this is like trying to clean your carpet with a hose. You're just watering down the problem. Then there's the option that actually works. That's the Aura Brush. The soft bristles, you feel great on your tongue. You just go back and forth.
Okay. So let's back to our screen. So just hope you all got to see that nicely. Just a note on the concept of viral video. That uni student that helped develop that first video went on to become the chief marketing officer of Aura Brush, and he suggests that too many marketers get a bit carried away with thinking that they need a viral video. And he even goes so far as to suggest that we screw the viral video. So because it's not simply about making a video and sticking it up on YouTube. Like, how is that video going to stand out from the 48 hours of footage that's uploaded onto YouTube every minute? So Jeff Harmon recommends that marketers consider 3 things. Number one is distribution. You need to have a strategy for distributing on multiple channels online. So video sharing sites, Facebook, Twitter, influential bloggers, and wherever else your target market participates, frequents and participates in. Number two thing is social, and Jeff is saying that businesses need to engage and interact and have a two-way conversation. And it's become crucial to have someone in the company offering person-to-person responsiveness. Another point he made there was to treat your video experience like you're throwing a party for your audience, and to think about what kind of atmosphere you want to create for your audience. And the third point was to make videos that you yourself would want to see, and emphasising the point that you need to have fun making them, as this comes through in the end result.
Thanks, Natalie. So the use of video as a sales tool is really where it comes into its own. We're not talking here of video as an online TV commercial. Excuse me for just a second. There we go. We're back on the. Hope you can all see the main screen now. Yeah, the use of video as a sales tool is where it really comes into its own. We're not talking here of video as an online TV commercial. We're talking about its capacity to interest viewers to stay longer on site, to inform them about the exact nature of the product, and to excite them sufficiently to make a purchasing decision. And the following case study of Diamond Jewellery United illustrates that point very clearly.
Hi again. So this is a shorter case study. This is Diamond Jewellery United. It's an online jewellery store selling diamonds online, which I imagine would be quite a difficult product to sell online with people wanting to experience the product. So after adding product videos to their e-commerce site, they realised a 60% reduction in returns, which is quite significant and has obviously increased their revenues and margins from there. So I think we might show the video just, as we speak. Simply, just because the video gave a true representation of the diamond, and then is offered by static photos, and prospective customers had a much more informed experience. So there's no surprises when they see the product. So hopefully you're seeing that little clip there, and you'll see they are very, very basic videos. It's just a 10-second video of each product with a simple rotation of the piece. You get to see it in 3D space. You get to see how it sparkles when it moves, and you get an idea of a piece of jewellery. There's no voiceover, there's no music, minimal investment. But the thing to note there is that they would have one of those videos for each product on their site.
Okay, so thanks, Nats. The viewers are far more likely to watch a visually stimulating video about your products than they are to read a long and possibly boring text document. Consumers who are interested, engaged and informed are going to keep coming back for more, and they're going to talk about it with their friends. And of course now the social media platforms provide an important multiplier effect that can spread your video content far beyond the confines of your website. And video is amongst the top 3 activities on social media. And our next case study, Vaughan Mills, clearly illustrates these points.
Okay, so this particular case study is of a Canadian shopping mall, Vaughan Mills, and these guys created a series of videos called Style Agents, which hosted by a couple of well-known local fashion experts, and their style mission was to find high fashion looks without high fashion prices. These clips are approximately 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, discussing things like latest fashion trends and how they apply to every day, and you're actually using clothing and accessories from the stores within the shopping mall. So if you see the ladies there, they're in their little fashion HQ and they're presenting some trends that they find in the magazines, and then they actually get out into the mall and find some gear. The duration and the style of clips means they're both entertaining and informative. They're like a little mini TV show, like I guess like that what not to wear style show. But it's also very branded, similar to the editorial that you might find in a fashion magazine. So the clips were featured on a microsite alongside the video. On the right hand side you can see all of the items that the girls have selected for that in that video, and within the microsite you can hover over those items and get details on the product, and it actually clicks through to any of the individual stores that those products have come from. So the videos were part of an integrated cross-channel campaign, which included this custom microsite, Twitter feeds, podcast, an iPhone app, and style blogs. And by using a targeted YouTube strategy and Facebook advertising, they were able to target their demographic in the local community and build on the engagement of female viewers. So this is a shopping mall, so they're obviously, in this case, they were targeting females 18 to 40 years old in the local area. So let's swap screens again, and we'll go and take a look at the Style Agents video, if you just bear with us for a tick. Nearly there.
Jeanette, the holidays are in full swing, so we have to get shopping, not just for some free pretty outfits, but for some fantastic.
Yeah. I completely agree. I love shopping this time of the year. I'm sure you do as well. Looking through all of these magazines, there's all these fabulous trends, and I think that we can incorporate them into our holiday hit list.
Sounds like a good idea. What are you thinking?
Okay, I'm thinking we can look at trends like legs, fur, and I definitely want to shop for maybe some great nail polish or something.
Sounds great. Let's go shopping.
For trend-focused holiday shopping, Afia and I both love H&M. What did you find? I love this.
I love this. It's over the top, maybe a little bit Sly and the Family Stone, but I'm loving it.
I think over the top is perfect for holidays. This definitely makes our hit list.
Jeanette and I are at Town Shoes Outlet, the best place to find holiday footwear. Cool.
Okay, so hopefully you got to see that. Won't have too many streaming issues there. Style Agents received over 260,000 views. 91% of this were the target audience, which I mentioned before was the female 18 to 40 within the local area of the mall. Vaughan Mills experienced continuing monthly growth in productivity, with end-of-year sales volume increasing by 9.17% and foot traffic growing by 4.65%. All in the midst of a retail slump in 2009 that saw competing properties struggle.
Okay, so thank you, Natalie. There are a number of powerful trends happening as we speak. Broadband speeds are increasing. Low-cost, high-speed internet connections are now widely available. Portable internet-ready devices are capable of streaming online video, and the upshot of all of that is that viewers are able to access video content from virtually every corner of the globe 24 hours a day. But whilst our main focus today has been about online video, there are new technologies like near-field communication and QR codes that offer other avenues through which video can be used. And as the next case study shows, in-store video can be used to very strong effect.
Okay, so this case study is about the Macy's Backstage Pass campaign. So Macy's are enhancing their in-store experiences by offering customers video content on their mobile phones. So by scanning a QR code or sending an SMS, if they don't have a QR reader, customers are able to unlock exclusive video content that takes them behind the scenes of the fashion world. So Macy's used high-profile celebrities in this case, who are actually the celebrity designers for Macy's, and these celebrities provide fashion trends, seasonal trends, fashion tips, and beauty advice in a series of very short, accessible videos. So Macy's spokesperson, a guy called Orlando Veras, said that their customers were looking for advice in putting together outfits and learning about trends and insider tips. And so the aim of the Macy's Backstage Pass is to bring their customers content that they've asked for in an easy, widely available format. So after the initial video feature, so once you've scanned the QR code and you get your first little video, after that feature, users can choose to see longer length content that will take them even further backstage with each designer or brand. So by actually providing this content via mobile devices, it has allowed Macy's the flexibility to bring their high-profile style icons and fashion authorities into every single store nationwide. The videos themselves are slick and professional looking, but they're also quite easy to achieve with that behind-the-scenes look. They're very short and simple and perfect for delivery on a mobile phone whilst out and about. So essentially a snack-size video, which is very easy to digest. And let's just have a quick look. We'll have a quick look now and to Jessica.
Hey y'all, Jessica Simpson here, coming to you from inside your phone. So let's talk about jeans. You know when you find that perfect pair of jeans and you practically live in them? For me, that's the sassy flare I'm actually wearing them right now. Now, unique with the slouchy boot is a great look for the weekend. It also looks amazing with the fur vest. Finally, the Forever Skinny. After work, you're going out, pair them with a great color block heel, and you are ready to go. Wear it with anything, just be fearless, and thanks for shopping with me.
Thank you, Jessica. So Macy's featured, so you can see it's a very short, snappy little video. And Macy's featured this Backstage Pass in social and online media outreach by all of their existing platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and various Macy's websites, in addition to print and broadcast advertising. And Macy's saw hundreds of thousands of interactions as a result of the Spring QR campaign, and are confident that users will continue to engage with the technology. And I guess another good thing to point out about a campaign like this is by having customers interacting via mobile device within the store is also the potential for those customers to continue to engage with the brand once they've left the store.
Thank you, Natalie. So that's the end of the case studies, and we move now into the final few slides where we aim to give you a few practical tips for smooth and cost-effective video production. We're going to look briefly at planning, production, and distribution. Clearly, planning in any business activity is important. The starting point here is to know your audience and understand how and where they're going to interact, or where you want them to interact with your videos. The clearer the brief, the more precise the budget and the costing that will follow. Really important to make the point that video does not have to be a big ticket item. Of course, it depends upon your goals, but a budget of $3,000 to $5,000 can actually go a long way. And as you saw in the Orabrush case study, an investment of $500 turned into a multi-million-dollar business. The power of online video is definitely in its authenticity, and some of the best work that we've ever done is where our clients are brave enough to show the people behind the brands. So what that does, I think, is to give give viewers a sense of confidence and trust about who they're dealing with, in what otherwise, if they're viewing online, might be a quite disembodied experience. Research your provider carefully. Make sure they've got a demonstrated track record in this area, and ask to see examples of their work and client testimonials. And also, very useful to have a look online, see some examples of videos that have worked effectively and that you like, the tone and style, and have those in order to show your provider what you're looking to achieve. On the point of production, it's always really, really valuable to have one person who's responsible for all the liaison and all the coordination of the project as a whole. That person ideally will understand the business and what you're hoping to achieve with your project. It of course depends on the nature of the project, but as a general rule, avoid overscripting the project. If you've got a good interviewer, you can get a really nice conversational tone and get really good answers out of individuals, and then they just gets edited back to some really powerful grabs. Valuable to have a sense of humour, but do avoid contrived scenarios. We've found ourselves in a couple of situations where clients have felt they've had a very funny idea that they want to pull off, and then when they've actually come to try and achieve that at the filming stage, they've really, really struggled to do it. So natural humour, yes, but avoid being contrived where at all possible. I think people are aware that attention spans online are very limited. Short 60, 90-second grabs are the norm, but you can, as you saw with the Jewellery United case study, a 10-second video might be all that it takes to showcase your product effectively. Finally, and by no means least, on the distribution side, of course, it's great that you've got this fantastic video, but then you've got to get it out there and share it and distribute it in a way which gives you your best return on the investment that you've made. So, you know, obviously embedding the video on your website, links in electronic direct mail, social media and blogs, all of those are channels that you should definitely investigate. But also think about boosters like click-to-play video ads, Facebook and YouTube advertising, and so on. So to summarize, of course, content is king, and having really valuable video on your website is a powerful, engaging, and very flexible tool. Have some fun with this stuff. Be original, but above all, be authentic, because that really is what shines through when you are demonstrating your wares to your customers. Grant, I think that's the extent of what we have to offer. Very happy to answer questions. We've put in a bunch of useful sources and links in the presentation for anybody who wants to follow up in a bit more detail, but very happy to take any questions that you might have from the audience.
All right, thank you very much, Nick and Natalie. Imagine a round of applause reverberating through the hall now. It's important to note before anyone ducks off too that this presentation will be available via Power Retail and all the content you can access after the event. Just a question from me first up. I mean, that's some fantastic stats and some very interesting case studies there, and some very effective ones. Now, I heard an interesting stat recently in Australia, admittedly from Google, that YouTube is now the 6th largest TV channel in Australia. But why do you think so many retailers are missing what seems to be an awesome free opportunity to create and distribute content?
Grant, I think fear of the unknown might be one reason. If you're not familiar with the the medium of online video. It can make you hesitant about getting involved. Hopefully today's webinar, if you're in that category, we might have been able to dispel some myths and to demonstrate what an exciting and accessible medium it is. Secondly, there might be a myth about cost. If your experience of video has been the old sort of corporate style talking head video or TVCs, then you're likely to have a completely wrong idea of the sorts of budgets that are required to have a real impact with online video. Thirdly, but by no means least, there are now more providers. When we started in 2006, specialist online video providers were very few and far between. There are more out there now, and of course some of the big agencies and others have cottoned on to this medium, which is all to the better. So, you know, for someone who's coming to this new, there are far more opportunities than there were 2 or 3 or even 6 months ago.
So it's shifting significantly, clearly. Now, Amy asked a question. You mentioned a budget of 3 to 5K can go a long way. For a simple 30-second video in studio, how many videos could you expect to produce for that amount? Amy's asking.
Well, it depends if the client is paying for studio time and talent. We'd always generally advise against getting actors. They tend to be expensive and it can not look as effective. So it's really difficult to give an answer to that without knowing the precise nature of the videos that the client is looking for. I don't want to be evasive, Grant, but it is really difficult without that brief to be more precise.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're capturing, if you just have a simple background, and then of course how much time you're spending.
So there's obviously a lot of variables depending what the production requirements are.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Mike asks, what are the benefits and risks of doing your own in-house videos?
Well, the benefits clearly would be cost. If you've got the in-house capability, then by all means go for it. But I think there is a risk of underestimating what's involved, not only from the filming, pre-production, and the production side, but for every hour of filming that we put in, we budget for 2 to possibly 3 hours editing, because just like a good piece of written work, it's all in the editing, and the final editing is where we might go out on site and do 2, 3, 4 hours filming in order to get a 90-second video. So there's a lot of editing that will go into getting that last 90 seconds down pat. So if you've got those sorts of in-house capabilities, great, run with them. If you haven't, I would say talk to somebody who knows what they're up to.
Yeah, and just another thing to add to that is, of course, you might be able to achieve some good results if you know what you're doing. But I think probably one of the common problems with people doing it themselves is often they seem to overlook the sound component and focus on the actual visual video, and a lot of those videos end up with terrible sound, which is pretty detrimental to the overall your overall brand if you're putting something up that's substandard.
Or makes sense. Now, Michelle is in the B2B space, so business to business. She's selling highly technical products and services to manufacturing businesses. So she asks, what format do you think could best showcase these types of product? Interview style, a brief overview with voiceover, and have you worked with business to business types of video before?
Yeah, definitely. I think just from you mentioned about the particular technical product, I think that the best format might be screen captures. I'm not sure if it's a piece of software or what exactly the product is, but screen captures with voiceover can often be very highly effective. And what was the other part of the question?
What was the other part of the question again, Brad?
Look, it was just around, have you worked with those types of businesses before, but really about what format works best for business-to-business types of video. So could it be?
Yeah, I think you can use any of the formats for business to business, obviously depending on what your product is, what you're trying to achieve. But I think with screen captures might be great for a technical product such as this.
I'm just putting back up there, Grant. These are a wide range of products, if you like, online video products that we have built up over the last few years, and it really how you approach it really depends upon what you want to achieve. And often you can, if you've got a product launch, using that opportunity to record that, but also then to make that available to a much wider audience online is a really effective way of reaching out beyond those who can just attend product demonstrations, instructional videos on how to use products. All of those are really powerful uses of online video.
All right. Well, look, I think that overall that was great. I certainly enjoyed that. Very interesting to get that business-to-business question at the end. I guess it often gets overlooked in the bigger market of business-to-consumer media, but certainly very relevant. So I guess the lessons I take away from that today are that you don't need a big budget to get going. As the Aura Brush video shows, you can achieve extraordinary things with just some really good creativity, and they've built the business off the back of one video, which I think is an amazing and inspirational story in itself. And the other examples there just really show, I guess, the wide variety of uses on a small scale and large scale that make video work. So we're certainly keen to get after it, and I'm sure it's influenced a few other people as well. So once again, thank you to Natalie and Nick, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in for our first webinar. We will be back with another subject in the near future, but don't forget you can collect all the content from this presentation. We'll let you know how to do that very shortly, and you can also get in touch with Nick and Natalie at Quickclips if you want to learn more. That's quickclips.com.au. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your time.
Guys.